So have you seen that new meme where John Hamm is in a club and just like dissociates to music and he just closes his eyes and I think the great thing about that meme is it hits us on a visceral level. Like we all kind of feel that and yearn for that feeling of escaping reality. And I think it also shows the power of music. There's not many things that give you that feeling of just kind of floating into this different space. And there's a ton of research on music and the benefits of it. You know, everything from reducing cortisol, increasing dopamine. There's even studies that show music and pain share the same pathway, so you can use music to modulate pain. I saw a study recently that showed music releases opioids, you know, the pain relieving chemical in your body just naturally without having to get all the side effects. And then there's all the other studies on improving your learning, you know, reducing symptoms in Alzheimer's and dementia patients. It's really wild stuff that music can do. So I think it's one of the more underutilized medicines that we have. You know, we often look at music as just something you do for enjoyment or for entertainment, but there's a lot of research and anecdotal evidence on how powerful it can be to, you know, whether it's mental struggles or physical struggles, it can improve both of those. And one of my bosses I used to work for used to use this without anybody else knowing. It was kind of an inside joke we would have. Whatever patient he had, he would, you know, you'd have their age on the chart and say if they were born in the 40s, he would see the patient come in and he would put on maybe something in the 50s or 60s. And you would completely see the person's whole mood and affect change. You know, all of a sudden, instead of obsessing over their knee pain, they were listening to music. And things changed pretty profoundly. So how to use this is simply, you can just put on music that you really enjoy, and that's very effective. So if you don't know what to listen to, one trick is you can put on the decade of when you were 10 years old to 20 years old. You know, I find those teenage years are very profound, and music's a big connection at that time. You know, I was born in 1982, so the 90s are very nostalgic for me and kind of give me that warm feeling. If that doesn't work or you don't want to listen to that, another option would be to put on music that makes you feel like you want to move. You know, in that John Hamm meme, the song it's not about the lyrics, you know, it's not that turn the lights on makes him feel that way. It's the groove and the melody of the music that gives you that feeling. It's one of those things, like, it's hard to be sad when you're dancing, you know, and the music can kind of be that reverse process of when the music hits you, it makes your body want to move, and then when your body wants to move with the music, you kind of distracts you from everything else. And then there's the medicine of the blues. You know, if you're feeling down, it's therapeutic to listen to sad songs sometimes, so that can also be helpful. So in the medicine and health span world, I feel like music's one of those things that often gets overlooked, which is this odd phenomenon that sometimes the easiest things to access and the cheapest things can be the most profound. You know, you also see it with, you know, sleep and diet and general exercise. Those can be very profound things that don't require you to pay hundreds of dollars to a practitioner or, you know, pay all this money for this medicine. So put on some songs that you like, try to let it move your body. Hopefully that'll make you feel better.